Hello, it's Mr. Fletcher here again. We're going to be doing some algebra today. We're going to be doing some simplifying. So we're going to do our first example where we're going to use the letter A. Now A just represents a number. I'm just not telling you what the number is, okay? So if we had A plus A, okay? When we talk about algebra, what we don't tend to do, because I think we're a bit lazy as mathematicians, is we don't tend to write things like ones in front of the A. So what we really mean here is 1A plus 1A. Okay, 1A plus 1A, so it's like 1 apple plus 1 apple. How many apples are in the fruit bowl? We've got 2 apples, haven't we? Okay, so let's do another example. So we've got 2 apples, 2 A's, and we're going to add another one. Now again, we're kind of a bit lazy here, not writing the 1 in front of that, but there is really a 1 in front of that. So 2 apples and 1 apple in the fruit bowl. How many apples have we got? We've got 3 apples. Now remember, they're not really apples, these are numbers. I'm just not telling you what the A number is. So what are we going to do now? Let's have a look at this. So we've got 3 A's. I'm going to take away an A. Remember, that just means 1A. So 3 A's take away 1A. 2 A's. And then we'll do the really complicated one. I've got 2 A's. I'm going to take away 3 A's. So you can see when the number's not 1, we obviously have to write the number if it's not 1. It's just 1 that kind of magically goes invisible. So have a quick look at our number line then. So if I've got positive 2 and I take away 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to have minus 1, aren't we? So I'm going to have minus 1A, but because we don't tend to write the 1 because we're a bit lazy, we would just write minus A. Okay? So far so good. So we've talked about A's. Now in algebra, the number I'm not telling you about can be any old letter. I'm using A in this case. Let's use B this time, I know. So we've got 3 B's and I'm going to add a B. Now of course what we really mean is 1B. Okay, so 3 B's, so bananas, let's say. 3 bananas and a banana, that's going to be 4 bananas, isn't it? And then let's say we've got 5 B's, we're adding 3 B's. How many B's have we got? 5 plus 3 is just 8, isn't it? So I've got 8 B's. And then let's go really complicated. Let's say we've got 3 B's. I'm going to take away 5 B's. Alright, let's use our number line again. So I've got positive 3 B's and I'm going to take away 5 B's. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got minus 2 B's, right? That's in that case I owe the fruit bowl some bananas. Okie dokie, so we've talked about A's and we've talked about B's. Now we're going to go to the next example. It's a little bit more involved. Now we're going to have A's and B's at the same time. Okay, so we've got 2 A's, we're going to add a B, going to add some more A's and some more B's. Okay, so when it starts getting complicated like this, there's a couple of different ways to go to help yourselves. Now the first way is going to be to use some highlighters. So let's do that. Let's use yellow for the A's. It's going to get a bit smudgy, I think. Now what you've got to remember to do is when you've got the pluses and the minuses, you must include those with the highlighting, okay? Otherwise I'll forget whether I'm doing plussing or minusing. So I've got 2 A's and I'm adding 2 A's, right? So that's going to be 4 A's, isn't it? And with the B's, I've got a B, that's just 1 B. 1b and 2, that's 3b's, isn't it? Okay, but it's going to be positive 3b's, isn't it? Not negative. So when I've got 1 and I add 2, sorry, go the underline down the bottom there. Thinking about the b's, right, I've got positive 1b and positive 2b's, and when I add them, so positive 1 plus, that's positive 3, isn't it? That's what we've done. Super. New question. So I've got A, add 3b's, add 2a's, take away 4b's. Right, I'm going to show you a different way of doing this now. So we can use highlighters, or we can use like circles and squares is another way. So we're going to do the A's in circles. Just helps us, you know, figure out what's going on with the A's and the B's. Now we must remember to circle the plus and the minus to the left hand side of the letter, otherwise we're going to get confused. Right, so then I'm going to do squares for B's. Well, it's not a square, it's a rectangle, isn't it? Okay. So what are we doing here? So I've got A's. I've got A, that just means 1A, doesn't it? So 1 plus 2, that's 3, I've got 3 A's. And with the B's, I've got, let's go back down to my number line. I've got 3 B's, and I'm going to take away 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, so I've got minus 1B, right? Alright, so I can write that, because remember I don't like to write the 1's in front of the numbers, they're a bit funny that way, they go invisible. So it becomes 3A, take away B. Right, so let's do a bit of a your turn then, shall we? Okay, so your turn is going to be 3A plus 2B plus A plus 2B, and the second example, which is a bit more complicated, is that one. Okay, so pause the video, have a go at those, and I'll go through them in a second. Okay, so you've had a go at these hopefully, so I'll do one with the smudgy highlighters. So here we go. Smudgy A's, smudgy B's. If I left it to dry a bit longer, it wouldn't be quite so smudgy. So I've got 3 A's and an A, that's going to give me 4 A's, isn't it? And 2 B's and 2 B's is 4 B's. Okay, and the second one we'll do the circles and the squares. Okay, so do circles for the A's, remembering to include all the plussing and the minusing. Okay, otherwise we don't know whether we're adding or subtracting from the fruit bowl. So I've got, now remember this A, that's going to be minus 1, isn't it? It's an invisible 1. So 3A take away an A, so 3A take away 1A, it's going to be, so I've got positive 2 A's, right? So that's just 2 A's. And with the B's, I've got 2 B's, positive 2 B's take away 3 B's, so 1, 2, 3. That's going to be minus 1B. Now remember, we don't tend to like to write the ones, so you get extra bonus marks for writing 2A, just rather than the 1 becomes invisible, it goes like that. Alright, so have a go at the worksheet, good luck.